button in three,
Go.
2, 1. Are you sure you want to start the live event? Yes. All right, everyone. Welcome to Aliqui Studios. I'm Alex, and this right here is. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everybody. My name is Fox Helms. It's so good to be here.
It's gonna be a fun time. So we're looking
Yeah.
back at Jokes on Me, the film we made. It was released like 2.5 years ago now, but
Yes, not too
s-
long ago.
we started it in 2014, so it's almost been
Yes.
5 years since then. So that's some good stuff.
Yeah, no,
Ooh, excuse me.
it's been a while
Sure
since
has. So
since
if
the audition.
if you're listening and you have no idea who we are, I directed the film, and then Fox co-starred in it as the lovely Joker, which
Yes.
I'm very proud of you, Fox. If like when I look back at it, I'm just sort of like, damn, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, man. And this was you didn't just direct it. You also edited and co-wrote and produced and all those things.
Yeah,
So
man.
don't
I-
sell your efforts short. And you were crafty. You provided pizza for us.
Oh yeah, the pizza was good. That's for sure.
Kept us going.
I do like this might change after we watch it right now, but I do feel like the film was kind of saved by your not just you, but like you, Kevin, Maya, Brandon, all your like improv and on all your good lines and stuff. Because I mean, when I go back and read the script, it's sort of like, oof, Alex, really, this is what you wanted. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So yeah, we're not here to like bash the film, guys. We're not here to promote it. We're just here to like look back on it and see how far we've come, sort of, and
Yeah.
just sort of chuckle, you know.
Hindsight is 2020. We're both in very different places now, so
Yeah,
looking
that's for
back on
sure.
it will be very interesting to see.
Oh yeah,
This will be the first of many commentaries on many films, I'm sure.
oh yeah. Hopefully, this is a
Sweet.
lot of fun so far. All right,
This
we
is a
ready
lot
to
of fun.
hop into it?
Yeah, let's just do it.
You've got the film pulled up, Fox.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Just let me know when you want to pause. I'll let you know when I do. And all right, let's hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
This is a non-profit film. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. This title screen with the rating I spent so long on.
I believe it.
The old logo.
This is the point in the theater where everyone starts clapping.
Did they clap?
I think so.
I don't remember. I remember being extremely nervous.
Oh yeah, me too.
Did you see the look on their faces?
You know, Puddin', when you said we were gonna break into the police station and capture an officer as a hostage, I thought it was a joke!
It is a joke.
Our
Our
lives are
lives
just
are
one
just
big joke.
Oh jeez.
If you say so, Puddin'.
You know, why don't we just wait until we get him out of the car and into the fortress?
Like there are a lot of technical things like
It's now.
all around. I think the lighting of the movie could have been a lot better, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Right. This is cell phone lights, I think, illuminating each of our faces, isn't it?
Something like that. I'm
Look at
not
those
sure.
Stars. Aren't they bright?
I feel like we lit it
magnificent.
like
and
it was gonna be a lot better, but
glorious.
then it
It's
just
like they're
turned out a
spelling
lot
out
worse.
words.
Yeah.
You see what that one says?
That's
It says
definitely a
drive
cell phone
fast.
light. Or something like that.
It's gotta be. I can almost see like the green screen in the background. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Wakey, wakey.
Kevin!
There he is.
Jay's gonna wanna
There he
talk
is. I just saw him a couple days ago, Monday.
Oh man, he looks so young.
He does.
Oh, there he is.
It's a nice reveal. I really like this shot, honestly. The high saturation and the green and the orange and the pan was really cool.
A lot of the comments do say like, why does your Joker look like a carrot? And I'm sort of like, you know, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. A very tall carrot. No, I don't. I thought I had the purple pants, but I don't.
I've got all this stuff packed up somewhere.
This purple, the green hair here is, I think, the strongest it ever was in the whole film.
Yeah, so this scene here is actually one of the reshoots we did, so I think it's the second to last thing we filmed.
Yeah.
I remember you dyed your hair like semi-permanently, like it lasted like 6 months. And I can't believe you were putting up with that. That was just crazy.
My hair went through such... so, like, when we were initially going to shoot, I bleached it. And then we weren't going to shoot. We delayed by, like, a month or so. So then I cut my hair.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I bleached it again. And then I dyed it green. And it was just a lot of fun.
You might ask what one would do with a bag of money.
What would one do with a bag of money so big?
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked. Picture this.
Remember all the problems we had with Harley's costume, Maya's?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was like falling apart. That was awful. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't take any credit for that because I didn't really put up with it as much as Maya and her mother did. But so, like, props to them.
Yes. But that really pulled through because I didn't know how we were gonna do with the costume, but then
yeah, it was like our biggest problem going into it, but then it just came out. It came out just fine.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It really does. It's stronger than some of the other fan films I've seen.
Oh, you're getting awfully close to Kevin.
Yeah.
Tank. That is absolutely ridiculous.
You can see that my makeup is smudged off on his nose.
Oh yeah, and like on the collar line of the shirt.
Oh yeah.
You know something? So I've been getting into some like t-shirt design lately, and I never thought like I could take some quotes from here and put that on a t-shirt, and it's still original. Like the goddamn tank line, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you smell it? Why would I smell it? Oh man, I miss Brandon. He was so much fun.
He was.
He was great. Remember his Peter Griffin impressions?
Oh yeah. Oh.
There he is. Hey, where did he come from?
Just the ceiling?
The ceiling.
Not without my money. What's with the money?
That's pretty great.
We just thought it made sense.
Yeah, it's pretty comical. It works. I like it.
It's pretty good. And now he emerges from the shadow. That's pretty good.
Why does everyone think we're gonna break?
Probably because Joker's on to sending a message.
Oh, this is so comical. I love it.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I assume you aren't here to empty my bank account.
There we go.
Here we go.
Holly, now is not the time.
That's a good line.
That's props to you, man. That was hilarious.
Some of this fight stuff actually works pretty well.
Yeah.
Some is shaky, but some of it is pretty coherent, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's props to you and Garrett and that guy that kept showing up
Yeah,
to
Zeke.
help us. Zeke, that's right.
Good old Zeke.
Good old Zeke.
Hands off my pudding!
Was that your Nerf gun?
Oh yeah, that's a Nerf gun, 100%. Spray painted.
That's the wrong guy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. J, I really am.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shea, I really am.
This fog effect that came in, I worked
You're an idiot.
like
I can't do my
the
job
fog
with
effect
idiots.
itself was easy, but the tracking to try and get it to match the movement of the camera, awful.
Must have been really hard,
Awful.
yeah. I remember when we shot this, actually.
The audio turned out just awful from this.
We never did any ADR, did we?
We never did. I think if we ever were to ever go back and do anything, ADR would be the thing. But I mean,
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
no need to, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's set and done.
It is set done.
Right.
Joke's on me.
Special edition. Could have George Lucas come in and do a special edition.
You're him.
Oh yeah, let me call him up.
You're the bat.
You okay?
Oh,
Props to Brandon. He was the only adult among us, and he
Dude,
endured
yeah.
this like
Stay
a
with me a
champ.
moment.
We were like 16. I remember when he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I sent him an
scared.
email and I was like, "Hey,
Today,
just so you know, we're kids.
Joker took me.
So like, if you don't want to do this, that's fine.
I knew the kind
But
of killer
like,
he was.
we're children." And he was like, "No,
We're
dude,
children.
I'll help you guys
was
out."
scared
And I was
whether or
like,
not I
"Dude,
would
that's
live.
awesome." Brandon's
Such a
cool
cool guy. Yeah,
It's not because I'm
it's
afraid
great.
of death.
I'm really
I'll
proud of
die
the
when I'm
scene though.
ready.
Like,
It's a good scene, and this shot is really great.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
oh yeah,
That I
Very
want to be
strong.
able to help make Gotham the city it could be. Then I saw you,
like Kevin's performance
Standing up
here,
to
I
him.
feel like really
like you
like
did.
Very strong.
really like shines through how bad the lighting
won.
is.
That's
The lighting actually is not bad in this.
That
I
is
like the
hero.
little gleam that we're getting on the steel pole. You
Yeah.
can see the trees, especially all those practicals in the background.
Fair enough, yeah.
Those
all
are
it needs
pretty
is proper
great.
Guidance, not a person, a public figure that citizens can actually look up to.
You were the DP too, right? It was
Yeah.
you and Jacob.
I can honestly
Yeah,
say that I think
Jacob-
the Batman will
Jacob
work
and I
a
use the
lot
camera
better.
mostly. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
That's pretty great, man.
I'm glad to see we're on the same page.
Hey, I have one question for you. Why should I trust
He was
What's your
originally
question?
supposed to turn away,
about me.
and then he was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I have one question," but he's just standing
It's about
there,
what
and
I
he's
do.
like, "Hey."
What I stand for. That can inspire people to look beyond their own needs and make Gotham a better place.
Brandon, like, for the film, from what was required
to
of
hear
Batman
that.
in this movie, Brandon just like knocked it out of the park.
Yes. Yeah.
The only thing
think
that
we
would pull
need
you out
just-
of like and to make you believe that he's not Batman is like sometimes you can see the mask sticking out of his neck. But other than that,
Yeah. No, he did such a good job. He is a really Bruce Wayne kind of guy too.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty perfect.
oh yeah,
I remember just knocking all these scenes out at your house.
yeah.
This is those.
And then you were drawing
ones-
Deadpool.
I was. That's my gun too. That's my BB gun. You guys didn't shoot this on 2 cameras, did you?
We had 2 cameras, but they were 2 of the same cameras, but we rarely ever had both of them. So yeah, we shot
Yeah.
with 1 camera multiple
Oh,
takes.
well, it's not
Yeah.
original. It's been done before, and it sucked.
But I sure saved your ass.
Oh, you spend so much time kissing my ass that you can hardly save it.
Ooh,
Burned.
Think of my 9-foot-tall robot clown.
What's that for?
Well, it's for my next big scheme. I need some sort of obstacle to get Batsy's attention.
I think
while stink of
so. Like, if I remember correctly, we were originally gonna have someone score the film,
Mr. J.
but that fell
Yes.
through. So at the last second, I had to go
About
through, and you know
teaching
how
the bad
YouTube has that
settling
like
down?
free music library.
Yes.
It's literally just all that, and I
Oh,
think
come
it
on.
works better than
Why
like
on
how I
earth would I
thought
do that?
it did in my head. Because in my head, it's
It
like,
was
oh, it's the
fun
royalty-free
enough.
music. It's
No
terrible.
Right.
jokes.
But like you can hear like the tune in the background of Joker's castle. It's good stuff, man.
It is good. It's very kind of like playful and whimsical. I like
Yeah.
it.
Do you think
I do like the candles in the back too. I think the orange goes well with the orange on the shirt.
Oh yeah.
Look at some of the schemes we were doing a few years back.
One scene had your
All the
cat,
police were
didn't it?
sitting
I
on the
think
end
that's
of this.
coming up.
It did. I do.
And now?
I don't know if I put. I don't
Well,
remember.
now
I remember
it's
there were
just
scenes that we shot with
Bang
the
guns
cat.
and punch
Yes.
I mean, there's
Barely
nothing
Marlon
wrong with
Brando
making jokes. I just
esque.
killed
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot less.
Important?
Precisely.
Like as much as we were sticking to Batman
Well,
the
I just
animated
think we have to
series
come
with
up with
these
something
characters,
Yes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate like
Something-
how you sort of made the Joker your own kind of guy.
How about?
I don't know. It's just cool to see because everyone like talks about like the new Joker movie and like
Picture
the
this.
different portrayals of the
Joker
Joker, and like
kills
you
Yes.
can technically say that you have one of those that's your own, which is super
No, it's
cool, man.
it's true, and I kind of don't really believe it sometimes. But
the Batman.
in all technicalities, it is like
It's
my
true.
own version of the Joker, and
Yeah, there's just
it's super fun. It's crazy, but
I bet.
What's that?
do you ever bring it up? Because like I know when I'm talking about like Joker and Harley Quinn with people, I'm never I never bring it up. Like if they were ever like, how much of a Batman fan are you? I would never say like, oh well, I made a Harley Quinn fan film. I would just sort of be like, I know some stuff.
What's wrong with Ivy?
I'm actually super proud of the fact that it has 90,000 views on YouTube right now.
Fine.
Probably more later,
The
but
Batman is right.
and then I always start by talking about my hair dye and how I dyed my hair. That's how I start the story. I go,
Right.
One time, I basically killed all my hair cells for almost a year. Or people will see my Instagram story and they'll see my green hair pictures and they'll go, wait, you had green hair?
I'm sorry.
And then
Oh,
I
I
have to tell them.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like I should be more proud of it. Just be like, yeah, I have a Harley Quinn Joker movie that has almost 100,000 views on YouTube. I mean, like, if you like 100,000, some people could argue it's not a lot, but you know that's a lot.
Yes, for a non-profit, no money earned, like zero budget film, that was a passion project for a ton of 16-year-olds and one adult.
Exactly.
That is a feature is very impressive.
That's 100,000 clicks, so 100,000 people willing to watch it. That's like a football stadium worth of people that are just like, yeah, let's watch this.
Hey, there's the camera. You can see the camera in the reflection.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Pleasure to meet
That's
That
pretty great.
that problem seems to never fail to come up for me when shooting.
Can't seem to
It's hard though because your dad's office is so reflective.
It's so much glass. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But this was such a great place to hang out. We spent a couple days here,
Yeah, we did.
at least.
It's good stuff.
And I remember actually shooting a scene. You guys were shooting and I had just gotten to set. And I was walking down the hallway and you guys were rolling, but I didn't know. And so I was waving and everything. And you were all pointing like, we're rolling, get out of the shot.
Yes, Jacob
And I'm like,
still.
oh crap.
And then you
And I
jumped.
jumped down the hallway.
Jacob still has that on his Facebook. We'd have to go find that.
That's great.
tasers and batons.
Yeah, we have to find that.
Interesting.
My uncle was actually the original founder of this place. He named it after his dead mother, giving it the name Elizabeth Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane.
Awkward.
How often do you feed them?
Well,
Maya was
we
so
usually
much
feed
fun
them
to work
about
with.
3 meals a day.
She was so
Dude,
great.
she was great. Her
Let's say
like
we feed them rice for breakfast,
the only
balls for lunch.
thing about her performance that I don't like isn't even her
Behavior was
like
acceptable that we can give them.
fault. I would say it's just like the audio equipment we used. We didn't use it right because it peaked a lot. But her performance was just spot on with
Yeah.
with Harley, and the voice was just. I couldn't. I'm surprised we got someone so talented to play
Right.
Harley. Like that was amazing.
The less problematic patients.
I agree. Is this the This isn't the scene. No, this is Okay. I forgot. I thought that was the scene where I knocked someone out. It's
I
not.
have to take
No,
my
that's
unit with
later.
you,
Why?
That's later.
Because the Joker's known to kill anyone with anything. Last week he killed 2 of our security guards with a spoon. It's standard protocol.
I worked really hard to give this evaluation, and you're just taking all my tools away.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but it's standard protocol.
Can I at least keep the pen and the clipboard?
The Joker cell has a built-in voice recorder. You'll be fine without it.
Fine.
It's actually a pretty good scene right there. That interaction.
Hands him the Flash comic book. Did you see that? Did you see that?
I did see that. I
Oh
did.
my gosh. I really like this shot here. I love how it turned out. How you're like half in the shadows.
Yeah. I like my. You can see my boxer shorts.
Oh, can you? Yeah, you're right. Just a little bit.
No. You may
Yeah,
not.
you could just barely see my face.
Mhm.
If I had, I actually, honestly, if I edited this, would have somehow put this as the first time we see the Joker, because it's such a cool reveal when he sits up.
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
he as in it's not me.
That's-
So when I
that's a
sit
good
up,
point. Because like if
because
The Joker is
you go, sorry.
alter ego.
oh no, I was just saying like because I'm in the shadow right now and you could just barely see,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like really playing with it. And then when I sit up, it's like, dong.
Oh yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I never thought of that, like, cause my one like regret with the movie is just like how the opening scene is just like so grainy and dark, and it doesn't put the film in its best light at first.
That's true.
So I mean, like, I don't know. That would take some thought, but that could have worked if we put this in.
You see, Harley, who I was doesn't
All right,
matter
did we shoot this? Did we shoot this in an insane asylum?
Oh yeah, we shot this in a library. Good times.
Study room.
Funny story with that. Do you remember that? So you could only be in the room for up to 2 hours. So then Maya's mother put for another 2 hours down in her name, but the library was like, no, you can't do that. We can't have you guys here. And we were like, but no one else is using the room. And they were like, you guys have to leave. So we were there for a solid 3 hours where they didn't want us there.
Right.
And I remember packing up when they closed, and they were having to like wait for me to leave with all my equipment.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
But it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the student film card doesn't work.
Car insurance. All the things
True.
that don't matter anymore. Just one bad man.
This was a fun scene to shoot. I don't remember how many takes we did, but
We did a few, maybe like 3 or 4.
yeah.
Not too many. It's a long scene, so we took it. It's the longest scene in the film, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Before then, I actually believed him.
It's the lighting is kind of cool. The one thing that just makes me uncomfortable.
Ever succeed.
Sorry, I'm waiting until I stop screaming. But
No, you're good.
the one thing that's a little uncomfortable, but I think it works for the scene somehow, is just the way that I'm framed, because I'm like, crouched to the camera, and that's what's in light.
Yeah.
It's kind of Citizen Kane-esque in like the way I'm in the shadow, but at the same time, it's my crotch and my knee.
So you think that by trying to save the city, Batman is actually destroying it?
Precisely.
Yeah, but we used all natural light for pretty much the whole film.
Yeah. The only time we ever used like actual lights would be like, I think it's later on. I'll point out the scene, but it's when we were in that hallway, and it was
that's
just
right.
dark.
Yes. I know that you brought lights with you.
I
for
always
a
brought
couple
the
shits.
lights, but we never used them.
That's true.
That's the same thing with fake blood. I've like mastered the fake blood technique and like the mixture and everything, but I have never used it in a movie. And I've always had a tub of fake blood. Did we use some here?
We definitely used some. In the last scene, after I get hit, there's like blood coming out of my mouth,
Okay,
which is
well,
a cool little
that's good to know.
detail.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Batman like throws me against the wall or something cool. You can't save Gotham.
You see, the world as we know it is like a burning marshmallow.
Definitely wish I made it louder here. Because my whole thing with editing it, I was like, wait, but if it's louder, you can hear like the static, so I should keep it down. But looking back, I'm just sort of like, nah, you just turn it up, Alex. It's more important that they hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, if I were like mentoring my younger self while making this, I would have been like I would have been hating myself. I'm just like, why am I working with this kid?
This is a great shot, though. I like that shot a lot.
Works really well.
I think so too.
That's an interesting.
Then I go back to my table.
Analogy.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the quieter scenes from the film.
Oh yeah.
Harleen Quinzel. Quite like your name. Switch it up a bit, and you've got Harley Quinn.
Like Harlequin?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've heard that all my life.
That's a cool beat.
But
there are some like really great moments in this film. Overall, it's definitely a first try, but it's got some really strong.
It's good stuff.
Beats.
Oh,
I love just the shot supports just like the character you're pulling off here so well.
I think we shot this earlier in in the whole production, right?
We did. It was either day 1 or day 2, I remember.
Yeah, because I remember my voice actually being pretty hoarse from using that voice so long.
I got you.
Chuckled, not even a smirk. And then he would hate me. Hate me. Ruthlessly.
Oh, that's probably my favorite part. Just ruthlessly with the head turn. That just sells it for me.
This was one of my favorite scenes to perform. I loved when we rehearsed this during our production meetings in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Me in my like Batman t-shirt and my bleached hair. I loved this scene. It was so much fun.
Oh man.
I think it's either this that was my favorite scene, or the one with the car later on, or the final scene.
Mm-hmm.
Those three are in my top 3 scenes.
I gotcha.
Not very articulate.
I agree.
You get the point.
Definitely one of my favorites as well.
And then he breaks my nose. And you see, that was the day that I learned.
Do I look like I have a broken nose?
Well, no, the whole thing was that one, it's a story from his childhood.
Yeah. That's
but
true.
Like, and 2, like Batman brings up later in the film, he's like, Harley, he has a million of these stories, don't trust him. So like, we don't know if this story's true or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very fun.
Because at points in the film, you could argue he loves Harley and he wants to keep her around, but he's just bad at expressing his love for her. But then you could also argue, no, he's just manipulative. He's a genius, and he's just breaking her.
Joker's got a rumbly tummy, and I think I deserve my Friday pudding cup.
Joker's got a rumbly tummy.
Tell you what.
Pudding.
Best line.
Pudding. Pudding. I know.
Fine.
I'm just curious. This scene has been going since the time code, like 1630 is when this scene started.
It's a good chunk of the film.
Yeah, almost 10 minutes. That's really impressive that you wrote a 10-minute scene and that we were all able to shoot a 10-minute scene.
Yeah? Do you think so?
Yeah, that's some like Quentin Tarantino level writing.
Interesting. What makes you say that? Like,
I will schedule another
because like
and I'll have that
in a feature film, when you're like, you have to have scenes that fill it up. You have to somehow reach the 50-minute mark, and so when you have your structure and your plot, like something has to be long, and so I think you chose a pretty great scene, the first encounter between the two.
I'm glad you think that, yeah.
To really extrapolate on. Which is probably why it was so much fun to shoot, just because it was a really very informative, very emotionally charged scene.
I gotcha.
with pudding.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
I offered him an extra pudding cup for his cooperation, and it worked.
Because that was one worry. I made like a sort of like a clock where I mapped out how long each scene was and how many pages, and I remember that was like a massive chunk, and I was like other scenes I was able to trim down, but I was like, no, this is all necessary.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I agree. I think if it was technically a little better carried, then it would have been a really gripping scene the whole way through.
Yeah.
Do you want to have sessions every Friday?
Like as much as I don't want to do this, it would be interesting to see us all remake this almost and see how much better it would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think that could be said with a lot of films, just as you go through trying to remake it. But this one for sure, with a budget.
Yeah, with an actual budget.
Yeah. But at the same time,
instead of Alex going, "Oh, I got my paycheck. Looks like I can buy a Joker costume."
Yeah.
Hold on. Harley, what do you think about hanging detective staying over a tank of piranhas?
Yeah, you can see the makeup on my shirt.
Yeah.
Harley.
I love how the blacks in your hair just like bounce off of the green.
You like the black in the hair?
I do. Do you not?
It resembles how long it was since I bleached my hair.
Okay.
From actually filming. It's like interesting though, because especially in the shot you can see there's like a 1/4 inch of brown hair there. I don't know if you like it. You're the director.
I mean, yeah, I think like aesthetically it looks good, just like the blacks with the neon color.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like maybe continuity wise, you could argue that it doesn't work. But like, no matter what this Joker's origin story is, if he was thrown in a vat of chemicals, it would start to grow back. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, here's Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy. She was cool.
That's a wig. She's a model now, you know.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, just you got to follow her on Instagram. It's like legit level stuff. It's really cool.
Why do you think
That's really great.
bugging me?
That's awesome.
No offense, Harles, but you would have run back home by now. Something like that.
I love the blue background on the wall there.
Yeah.
And the orange in Ivy's shot.
I never noticed that. Yeah.
I've been thinking about.
I was actually on set for this day.
For some reason,
at
yeah.
this location.
I can't.
I don't know what I was doing, but
Right.
I was on set. Yeah, I like the yellow and the red. This is a cool looking
Good
shot.
stuff,
I walked into a room as if there was nothing special about him, and then nothing.
I think the main issue, so I shot Dreams in Rain, a short film earlier that I did with
Yeah.
Jacob and Kevin and the crew. And the cinematography and the lighting, it all turned out way better. And I think that's mainly because it was primarily an outdoor film.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of sunlight shining through the trees. We had it like it was bouncing off the snow and all that.
Yeah.
You say that like you've never had to spare a few
For sure.
millions every now and then.
It's did we I think we used a practical, or not a practical, but just a light in here. A studio light.
Something like that. Yeah, I definitely see that. See more of a bounce off of her face here.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know what? I think I was boom operator on this day. Something like that.
I'm not. I don't remember this day all that much. It was in. Wasn't it at like Garrett's house in his
It was
basement
at
or
Garrett's
something?
house. That's right. Maybe it was like that we shot this scene after a different scene, and so we went all in Garrett's car and to his house or something like that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
All the logistics to this film were a blur.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know how like I thought this was gonna work, but somehow it did.
Police department. Someone's escaping, right? Hey, who are you? Hey. Oh, it's you.
Just shows up.
Trust me.
No.
Trust me. Go secure the exits.
Who are you?
I'm a psychiatrist.
One of the things, you sent me the rough cut to this film, and I sent you a very long email with notes that I had.
Oh yeah, that was like the #1. Like you and Jacob sent the most honest, like critique, and that helped shape it so well.
Yeah,
Like-
this turned out so much better than the rough cut, which it's really cool. But one of my biggest notes was the establishing shots, because you had this really great city one at the beginning, and then we're lacking them just a little bit.
Fair enough.
And
Do you think that city one was any good? Did that work?
I loved the city one.
Okay,
Yeah.
because to me, because I created that in a 3D like software from scratch, you could probably tell. But to
I
me,
actually thought it was like a cardboard model, so the fact that you
Interesting.
did that in a computer was pretty good. I like that shot. That's fun.
oh yeah.
Jacob!
Hey Jacob, how you doing,
There
buddy?
he is. He is awesome. He is co-writer, co-director, kind of co-DP,
Yeah.
logistical master. That button, and here, this is to praise your editing, Alex. That button that he just pushed is in your dad's office. It's for the standing desk. And so the way you cut it, he pushes a button that's in a different location.
Oh my gosh, I
And
never thought of that.
It's so good. I
Yeah.
love shooting this scene. This was a lot of fun.
I'm really proud of this scene. It's shaky, but I love we were running in circles around you guys.
Yeah, it was so dangerous too, because
it
we
looks
actually
really
had a prop
good.
gun outside, And yeah, like this is your dad's workplace, and we're just way out in the open on like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
and holding a gun and
like
punching
few
each other.
people were walking around just like, what the heck?
Yeah, Brandon actually wasn't so happy about that because he's a police officer.
Oh, really?
That day. Yeah, remember that? He was training to be a cop, and so.
Well, yeah, but what do you mean he wasn't so happy about that?
He because we didn't have any permits for the gun, so shooting outside was really dangerous because nobody knew that we had a gun. And so he was like, I think somebody came up to us or something by the gate, and then he had to talk to them and say, no, we're fine, we're just shooting a film. Because he was definitely very uncomfortable shooting with a gun outside.
Dang, okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's just like the things that go way over your head when you're 16 and shooting a movie.
Amen to that.
Shout out to Brandon for that. Like, sorry we had to put you through that, man.
I'm sure he agrees that it was a worthy risk.
Has something to do with that damn Batman.
Yes. Very good. So.
What I applaud this film for is that it has.
The only obvious answer.
It's very balanced. It has some pretty great, intense action scenes, but you didn't try to do only action. You tried to balance it with some really strong emotional stuff, and I appreciate that because it makes the action better.
Harley, get back here.
Yeah, I mean, like.
What can you do, Red? Harley.
I don't know. That's just. When I set out to do this film, I was sort of like, the whole thing was, because the song, the Joker song, the whole thing about it is that Joker and Batman are a duo, and one can't live without the other. And I was sort of like, what would Harley's perspective on this, like, idea be if she like sort of found out about this whole like Joker finds Batman more important than her thing? And that's just sort of like what drove this film to be what it is.
Yeah, no, it's very good writing for 16, definitely. This scene is the best.
This is the one scene I was not there to shoot, but I love it so much.
Harley.
Give me the plans.
You can see the back of his mask sticking out. All right, hold on. This is the point.
My God, he's really gonna do it.
I didn't know what to do when he first told me about it. I see now that he's really crazy.
Well, you did the right thing in bringing it to me.
I stole the blueprints from Mr. J's cabinet.
Nice.
Yeah. Why don't you smell it?
Why would I smell?
I love his like nice.
I love that too. Also, there's an outtake of this that I love with all my heart. She goes, why don't you smell it? He goes, lavender.
I gotta pull that up once we're done here because that's on Jacob's personal channel. But yeah, it's so funny, man. Love that.
I stole it from Joker's cabinet. Nice.
Nice. Oh, jeez.
Brandon was such a funny guy.
Time to put on a show.
He was so much fun to hang out with.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Calm down, Batsy. It's simple.
Every time you backlight or sidelight Batman, his mask looks really good.
I know, right?
Like
it works really well.
I think so, yeah.
You know what I thought? Yesterday I thought, what if I just take all the funny, like, Batman lines and just make a Batman cut of Jokes on Me where it's just that?
It's just Batman?
Where
It'd be
he's like, what?
5 minutes, right?
Harley, nice.
Why would I smell it?
Lavender.
That was the camera that was actually shooting, wasn't it?
It was rolling, but I never used footage from it.
No? Okay.
It was rolling, though.
This is another one of my favorite scenes because when we were filming, it was in a parking garage by Fiddler's Green, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And outside there were these ladies sitting in like lawn chairs for some reason, like watching the lake or something.
Yeah.
And as you're about to see, the scene gets really intense, and I scream a lot.
Oh yeah, your entrance into this scene is I love it.
So much fun. I was actually really nervous about the entrance because I wasn't allowed to drive at this age.
Oh.
I was without someone in the car, and you wanted me to like pull the car up, and I didn't want to break the rules.
I gotcha.
I was a good guy. But so we do the scene a couple of times, and then those ladies are like, they call and they go, "Hey," and then we go, "What's up?" Because we're like, "Oh crap, were we being too loud?" And they go, "Sounds like you guys are making a movie." And then we say, "Yeah, we are." And she's like, "Well, you're doing it right." And I was like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah, oh, that's so cool. I vaguely remember that.
That was, yeah. I don't remember what time we shot this, but
it was late at night. This was like a 9 p.m. to like midnight shoot kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Here
we go.
And I think my yellow car really works with like the Joker.
I
feel
do too.
like.
I would have loved it if it were like a yellow Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that budget.
Closest thing we had.
So, you saw the transmission?
This isn't funny.
But I thought you wanted him dead.
Only if I did it, you idiot!
I love how you could see like the Joker's just sort of like trying to come up with reasons to hate this. She's like, I'm trying to kill Batman. He's like, only if I did it, you idiot.
Yeah. I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
You're always taking hits from people who just
don't get the joke.
Okay.
That was one of my biggest notes in the rough cut that you fixed here, but we cut from that to me walking.
Yeah.
Or something, and then to this, and you cut out the walking shot, and I think that's really great. Also, this scene we shot on the same day as the 10-minute scene.
Yeah.
From earlier. And so I remember having to go into the bathroom, change out of my scrubs, and give them to Harley, because those are my scrubs that she's wearing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Or I'm wearing her scrubs, however it fits.
I gotcha.
better.
You shared scrubs. This shot of Batman just to me is kind of awkward.
It's very funny, the way his ears kind of point out, and he's just standing there.
Start fresh.
I think it's super silly.
Batman has his secret security key to the Arkham Asylum like air ducts or something.
The ceilings.
Oh yeah.
Arkham ceilings.
He's the ceilings. He's been dropping from ceilings all movie.
Harley. Oh, right. I just guess I got accustomed to having her around. Feelings.
All the lip smacks were a tribute to Heath Ledger.
Oh.
I didn't. Is that were you, so that you were doing it on purpose? It wasn't. Well, of course you were doing it on purpose, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. There parts of this. I remember talking, and you said you wanted it to be more like Mark Hamill than like Heath Ledger, but you wanted me to do my own thing with it, and so it was fun because in the audition tape, I had never tried a non-Heath Ledger voice, and so.
So up to that point, the Joker to you was mainly Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Did you feel like? Do you feel like I was pushing the whole Mark Hamill thing too much, or like?
No, not at all. Because after you established that precedent in our meeting, like that was just, I think that was just the foundation of what you wanted me to base the Joker in.
There's the
Joker. Then, yeah, that's a good shot actually.
That was good.
Yeah. But through the meetings, and you just told me to go different places with it or to like say things differently, and then I think we very much shaped it. You did a great job directing, and so I don't think it was at all too Mark Hamill-y. But you know, many disagree.
He just goes hi.
Hi.
You look like you could use a little visit from Dr. Happy.
Dr. Happy.
Dr. Happy's the squeezy stress ball that we got, right? That we said was a grenade.
Oh my gosh. I remember that. Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty great action beat right there. That sound effect was well placed.
The bouncy ball, yep. And I got it to echo there. I love that. Oh, here's the cat.
There's the cat. The purple jacket didn't fit, so we rarely used it.
I remember that, yeah. And thus came the carrot Joker.
Yes. You know what I love? I love when you just took me aside in the office one day and you said, Fox, I need to get as many laughs out of you as possible. And we just spent like 10 or 15 minutes.
I really used a lot of those, just like
yeah,
with the opening shot at the city and the echo. It's good stuff, man.
I think it sounds pretty good. It's fun.
I mean, so I guess technically we ADR'd some stuff, right?
Yeah, that's fair. ADR, ALR, automated laughing replacement.
There you go.
Oh, all right. Pumpkin pie. I'll try to keep things a little more.
Yeah, that sleeve definitely.
But still gonna make the damn gig fun.
See, that's what I think is interesting. Here, the Joker just sort of was like...
I'm drawing a horse.
Now I'm drawing a horse.
Now I'm drawing a horse.
But, like, the Joker sort of, like, gives in. He's like, okay, we can kill the Batman finally. Which is just...
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me, because it's like, he's definitely, like, making her feel better about it, because why would he just do that? You know?
Right. Exactly.
Who's there?
That's a good audio swell. Nice.
Good morning, Gotham.
Oh, that was good.
Welcome.
Yes.
I like that transition.
To Anonymous Warehouse.
Okay, while we're watching the scene, we gotta talk about how it went down.
Okay.
So do you want to start? How did you write this scene, first of all?
I honestly can't recall. Are you referring to something specific?
Yeah, no, you had, it was something very similar to this, but you had a huge pile of money, and we had this very specific location, and I think this is the last day of shooting, actually, or later.
Yeah, so on that day we had a huge like argument almost, and this is why I don't co-direct anymore.
Yes.
Just like because Jacob and I had a disagreement where it was like either film in the parking garage or film in this abandoned room that's still under construction, as you see here.
Yes. Which we didn't have permits to be in.
We weren't allowed to be in this room, but my main thing, like, I would have been fine with the parking garage, but my main thing was not to reuse shoot locations, which is why we reshot the opening scene where you have Detective staying tied up, because I didn't want to reuse too many locations. So I just wanted everything to feel different, so I guess that's why we...
That's right.
So this whole stack they're tied to was originally supposed to be a pile of money. I don't remember that.
I think so. That's what it had in the original script. Or I don't know. There was a logistical reason that we had a lot of problems shooting this scene, because I think Zeke also, or somebody had forgotten batteries for the sound equipment.
Yeah, that was a problem as well.
So I remember it being about midnight, and we were trying to decide where to shoot. We hadn't started anything yet, and we were burning time in this location, and we were in a dispute as to where we should shoot, and we didn't even have all the props that we need, and we couldn't start shooting until the audio gear was set up. And
I remember this is when I learned that the director should never leave set. I had to drive Zeke home because something was going on, and I guess I'm glad I did it, but that's when I learned, like, okay, Alex, just make sure you have people that can do that kind of stuff next time.
Right.
Because I don't know what you guys were doing in between that time, but
we were probably rehearsing, going through it, because
like
we did this whole. We did this whole thing. basically improv for the most part.
Mhm.
We just kind of ran with it for a couple of shots.
Right.
The Good Morning Gotham thing, I'm pretty sure was improv.
That was
I don't
all
think you
improv.
scripted that.
I didn't think of that.
But we it was fun, and we just ran through it, and I think you just tried to stage yourself so that you couldn't be seen in my camera.
Yeah.
Because you used footage from my camera. Did you? Or didn't you?
I didn't actually. I got shots
okay.
of you holding the camera.
But you didn't use any of the shots from the camera.
The big deal was once we had the audio equipment set up, Garrett, who was using it, like, we didn't really practice very well, like, where I would be. So there were even some shots where I'd be spinning and Garrett would, like, be in the shot, and then he'd be like, oh, wait. Like, I didn't know you were going over there, Alex, so, yeah.
That's true.
But I'm really proud of how this scene turned out.
I love it. It's one of the... It was my favorite scene to shoot, I think. It was so much fun. And it's really well shot. It works so well.
The fans are really... It's weird to say fans, but the fans are really, like, they love her performance here. Because I remember this now. She thought shot Batman.
Yes.
And then he goes, yeah, there it is. I'm not your pudding.
What?
It's such a great moment. Because that's the whole message of the film building up, is that Joker has to do it. And then when he doesn't get to do it, you know, she's sorry, but she kills him.
It's
which
almost
is
like fate. It's like, you can't, like, Joker and Batman are like these cosmic forces that you can't interrupt, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yes.
And then another point we wanted to bring up was this scene coming up now wasn't written into the script. Originally, it was written to cut off right there at the end, and then credits roll. We might have had an end credit scene or something. But this was all improv. I wrote up a quick thing. I was like, okay, here's what's going on. But this, by far, like, top 3 favorite scenes. It's the Joker and the whole 10-minute scene we talked about.
My name is Anthony O'Hare.
Yes.
You see the pudding cup. It's just so perfect.
It's
so
pretty
good.
great. Yeah, we shot this actually like 2 months after we wrapped that one day, didn't we?
Yeah, you, like, your performance as this character,
Miss Quinzel.
This was, I stole the name. I think I call myself Anthony or something, but I just picked up some psychology books from the library
Anthony
where
O'Hare.
we're filming. Yeah, and I stole the last names of 2 of the books. One was like Jonathan Anthony and like Michelle O'Hare or something like that.
I gotcha. So one of the funniest comments I saw on the YouTube page was like, hey, get more original. You used the same actor for the psychiatrist at the end that you did for the Joker. And I was like, yeah, it's called, oh my God.
Oh crap, you're right. We did use the same actor.
Oh shoot. Gotta go back and redo it.
I'm a big fan.
But I remember in the theater when they see your face, they realize that's the same guy that played the Joker, and then you could just hear in the theater, just everyone goes, ooh. And I was just like, I was so proud of that.
That was one of the greatest things of just one of my most cherished film moments was in that theater. That whole time was amazing. All our hard work came to a big point right there, and that was fantastic.
I love this scene so much.
But now he's gone.
You have to understand, this is not your fault. The Joker was a psychopath. He was...
And props to you, Alex, for building this visual motif of the gun shushing.
Yes.
That was so brilliant.
Oh, I'm
you
very
set that
proud
up
of that.
so well earlier in the film so that it pays off here.
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
pretty perfectly.
I like looking back now, I'm a lot more proud of this than I was maybe a week ago. Like if someone was like, "Hey, did you make this?" I'd be like, "Oh my god, yeah, that was me." But now I'll be like, "Yeah, did you like it? Like, what did you think of the whole gun thing? What's your interpretation of the Joker at the end?" Like, I'm more proud of it.
Or else a few more dead.
This is like a really well lit scene too. I think. I kind of like all the different shades of white and the light. It's really cool. I think it works well. because the whole film is really dark. So then to have
Yeah,
this,
and this is sort of like the cleansing scene at the end that just adds more confusion almost. But here it is.
Isoplexis. The mirroring of someone's behavior who you are comfortable with.
Braces.
Yep.
Which kind of works because it's 2 months later, but also,
by the way,
at braces.
My favorite thesis of yours? Mental manipulation.
And then the song kicks in.
See you around, Harley.
There's that close up. So fun.
And Maya actually cried. That was all her. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
And then here's the song. Oh.
You'll be lost. Oh. Well done, Alex. Congratulations, sir.
Oh. Wow, I'm glad we did this today. That's good stuff. But yeah, that end scene, like with the braces, you could just argue like forever about what's actually going on, because it's like, is it a different guy because he has braces, or is Joker just that manipulative because he put braces on just to make it seem like he's a different person?
Yeah.
And that also hints to the fact that Harley doesn't know who he is without all the jokery makeup or whatever he did to make himself look so normal. Oh man, I'm really proud of this.
I'm so proud of it.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Noah Crowley.
Oh yeah.
I remember shooting with him.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. Fight choreography, Zeke Kossoff.
Zeke. Sit back, you'll be lost without me.
Oh yeah. If you guys
Very
haven't
fun.
listened to the song, I recommend you go check it out. It's called Joker's Song, and without that song, this film probably wouldn't have happened.
And you got the rights, right?
We did, yeah, we did.
You reached out. That's great.
I reached out to the guy. He was like, "Yeah, for sure, man. Just like don't monetize it." And I was like, "Yeah, we already can't monetize it, so we're good there." But yeah, I'm really happy. It was like last second thing too, because the film was going to be released on April 22nd. I released it on April 23rd because I was emailing the guy. I was waiting for the email back from him. That was like because he already had said yes, but I was waiting for like a second confirmation.
Sure.
Sort of just like, yo,
get it in writing.
Just like, it's going up today. Can I for sure have an okay from you? And he was like, yeah, go for it. And then I put it up, and
great.
It's been up for 2.5 years.
Yes, it has. They said, "Bats, you'd be lost without me." Bum bum bum.
Stuff.
Very fun. No, so we you worked at an AMC. I think. Do you still work at AMC?
I still work there. Yeah, I have been moving up.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Congrats.
But yeah, they were nice enough. I asked my general manager. I was like, "Hey, could we like block off the theater for like, because it's only an hour? Could we just have 2 hours?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, for sure, man," because he put it on like a super slow night, so it actually brought 250 people through their concessions line, and you know it did good for them. So
yes, it did, and the theater was full. I think that we showed it in.
It was, yeah.
There were people there that we had never met. Yes, we had never met some of the people there. And they came and watched the whole film, and that was one of the coolest moments because it wasn't just all of us as a fam. It wasn't all of us in our families. It was like new people that had never seen or heard of this film, and they were about to watch it.
Right.
And that was so cool. But then we did a Q&A.
You brought up like it was my brother, my younger brother, and one of his friends. He was supposed to go up and tell you like, "Hey, my best friend's brother directed the movie," but he was so nervous he went up to you and he said, "Hey, my brother's my best friend," and you were like, "Oh."
That's awesome.
Is that true? Did that happen? Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I'm sure that happened because that's the sort of thing.
It's just funny to me. I could totally see you just being like, "Great, good job, kid."
Great, awesome, congrats.
Oh,
man. But we did a Q&A after. Everybody was there. Maya was there. Brandon was there. Garrett was there.
Yeah.
I was there. We have a great picture of the screening on the Instagram page.
Oh, let me see
One of
if
my
I can pull that up.
Yeah, that was so great. Cool.
So yeah, we have some like discussion stuff prepared.
Yeah.
So did you wanna start while I try and find this picture?
Yeah, let me pull up the thing that I just sent you.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. So you edited this whole film all by yourself, right?
So Jacob actually did help me. He did a rough cut of it. He did the first like piecing it all together, and from there I edited it and tweaked it, but he did the original like assembly.
Got it.
But
Okay.
other than that,
So
it was Jacob and I. Yeah, he
so
was a lot of help.
what was it like piecing all this together? Because after we wrapped, I was just pretty much done with the project, but you still had a couple months of work. So how was that?
I mean, how do I put this? I mean, it was kind of rough. I mean, like going through and editing everything.
Yes.
Definitely brought up like, hey, we should reshoot this, because if people aren't paying attention, they're going to think we just reused scenes because it looks like it's in the same location, stuff like that. But like, I feel like if I would have looked at how things were going in the editing process, because all through the editing process, I was like, oh no, that was literally my thoughts. And if I would have fixed on that anymore, the film wouldn't have been released. But like my need to get that story out into the world was greater than any like technical difficulty that happened. I was like, you know what, screw it. It's my first feature film. It's going up there. There's like, I'd be letting everyone down if I didn't. Like, it's not like I never thought that like, hey, I shouldn't put it up. That never crossed my mind. My mind was just always set on this needs to happen.
Yeah,
so
that's
I mean,
so
like,
great.
Editing was a big like wake up call for me. But yeah, I kind of feel like the film was very much saved in your guys' improv and the edit. Very much so.
Absolutely. They're
do you want to like trade off, and I'll give like you
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
a question, I'll give you one.
For sure. Sounds
Cool,
good.
Man. So just looking back on your performance, if you were to do anything differently, for better or for worse, what would you say that would be?
For better or for worse? Well, we talked about this a little before we started the stream, but a year or so after we made and published this film, I kind of wanted to do a standalone Joker project just because I didn't think I didn't think that I went out there as much as I could have, especially with the character as crazy as the Joker.
Right.
And so while I'm proud that I did go a little crazy in some points, I definitely think that there were moments where I held back for whatever reason. And so I think it would just be fun to go back and play scenes differently.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, there are scenes where I think I overdo it, and I think it would have worked better if I was more subtle. Or didn't give so much. That would have added more depth. But overall, I think, yeah, just scene by scene going, yeah, this is too much, or yeah, this is too little, would be what I would do.
I gotcha.
Differently.
Cool, man.
Awesome. Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Your turn here.
Cool. So what was the most valuable thing you learned from directing the entire process? It could be writing, it could be editing, but I'd like to hear what you learned about directing.
So I'd say going into it, I definitely thought that directing was going to be a lot different than it actually was. So my mindset was sort of like, hey, let's make this Harley Quinn movie. And I definitely learned a lot more about what it meant to be a director and stuff like that. Let's see, how can I put this? If like, just give me 1 second to process this.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. It's a hard question.
So like, people say that experience is the best way to learn in the film industry and stuff like that. And in this case, it couldn't be more true, because I went into it thinking, hey, let's just make a movie. And I went out of it thinking like, okay, I ended up like having to coordinate groups of people. Like I had to be sort of like the driving force to get everyone on board, stuff like that. I don't know. It definitely helped me become a better director, and it helped me realize like what all is expected of me, because I didn't understand that there were expectations of me other than just, hey, give the actors some like pointers here and there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, like,
no, I can see that.
It was a big eye opener for me, I would say.
That's great. Yeah, no, I saw that in you too, because your directing style evolved as the film went on, and
Really?
No, it did for sure, because during the meetings it was different than when we were on set, and you had a lot of logistics to balance on set, and then
Yeah.
so it was different from day to day. But overall, I thought it was masterfully done, very well done.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So next up, like, what would you say? Because I don't know how far you would think you've come when it like from this film.
Yeah.
So what would you say like was the biggest lesson you learned from it? Whether it was like about acting or like where you wanted to go with your career, what would you say coming out of Jokes on Me was like a big eye opener for you?
Well, in the heat of it, it was such a long commitment. It was a lot larger of a commitment than I thought it would be. And when I saw your original casting call, I think it was at school, but I just emailed you on a whim asking for an audition. And I had no idea that from there it would turn into like 2 years and then later 4 years of still talking about the film.
Interesting. Okay.
So what I never realized that I guess my work on a project would be so long lasting and still tangible, because it's a weird concept to think that I can still watch a performance that I did and 90,000 people have watched it.
Yeah, I understand.
Well.
I feel you there.
But biggest takeaway from acting is definitely patience on set, because during that last shoot, I think call time was somewhere around 9 or 8, and we didn't start a single shot until midnight.
Oh,
and it was just because there were so many problems that we had to fix. And there comes a point, especially on a bigger set, there's just nothing the actor can do but sit there and wait. And so that's your time to prepare and make sure you have your lines down. But then beyond that, you just have to sit there. And so it was really, but that's one of the tests, you know, each aspect of a movie has disciplines. And if you can endure the disciplines and finish the project, which is why I applaud you for editing the whole film, then, you know, the fact that you published a film is very rewarding.
Okay.
And thinking back on it now, I'm so proud of it. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Cool. So I'm going to skip a question and ask you one that I've been wanting to know all day.
Okay.
What is your favorite memory?
My favorite
from
memory
this shoot
from Jokes on Me. I can't pick one. I'd say that I have a few.
Good.
So the first one I'd say is I don't know how many phone calls we had together, but the one I had with you where we decided that you were going to be the Joker.
Oh yeah.
I was like at an Applebee's or something, and I went out into the parking lot and we were on the phone, but because you were the first person to be casted for this film.
Yes, that's right.
So you were the first person I had ever casted, period. Anyone before that point was just like, I would ask a friend like, hey, do you want to be in a video? But like you were just like a legit, like, post a casting call, they show interest, do the that whole thing.
Yeah.
It just felt like I was stepping into a bigger world, you know?
That's great.
Because you were my first legitimate, like, I don't know, person I met in the industry, I guess you could say. Yeah, that was an eye-opener for me. And another favorite memory would definitely be the premiere, because after all that stress through editing and realizing, is this going to turn out bad, the premiere really helped me like solidify that feeling of like, okay, yeah, this movie's worthy of all the effort we put into it.
The premiere was magical. It was amazing. There's very little in the world that feels better than going into a theater that has the title of your movie like across the neon LED sign.
Oh man.
Going in and then watching it with people that have never seen it before, and then having them laugh when they should laugh, cry when they should cry, and applaud at the end is so gratifying.
Right.
It's great.
I got you.
Very, very validating. So yeah,
Sure.
thank you for organizing that. That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun to put together, and yeah, I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it my turn to ask you something?
Yes, I think so.
How do I put this? It's been a few years. So
Yes.
how far do you think you've come as an actor or a filmmaker? Do you think basically when you first shot me the email saying like, "Hey, I'll play the Joker," I'm guessing your mindset was sort of like, "Yeah, I want to go into acting." Do you feel like your views on the industry and what you want to do have changed at all? Are you still focused on acting? Like what, not necessarily like what did Jokes on Me change about you, but like what has changed since then?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I've always loved movies, and so I knew that what I did with my life would be movie related. And I really liked acting because people look at you and you get the floor, and so all attention's on you, and who doesn't love that? But once I started figuring out that you can like convey a character, and like the decisions that you make can make people feel something emotionally, was really attractive to me. And so I was just again around the age of like 14, 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
I was studying filmmaking at school.
I remember,
Yes, at high school, and then trying to act on the side because I thought acting would be my career.
Right.
And I did that, and I was on some sets, and then nothing too big. And I didn't think Jokes on Me would be big either. I thought it was going to be a short film. But the Joker, I love that character, so I reached out. And then since that experience, the acting was amazing. It was really fun. Working with a fantastic director like you is always a pleasure. And then right when it came time to apply to college, I was still thinking that I was going to stop film school and go into acting. I thought, I finished up my time as a director, and now I'm going to go and study acting. And I just kind of thought about that for a little bit, and I realized that I really of the films that I made in high school, that I was really proud of them, and I loved that a lot. And so I decided I can still act, and whenever somebody asks me to be in a project, I'll say yes and try to build connections that way. But I think it would be really awesome to be a filmmaker and to be a director and a writer.
Cool.
And so that's what I'm doing currently, but never ever do I want to stop the acting part of it. I wouldn't say it's my greatest passion in filmmaking anymore, but it's definitely a love.
Okay.
So,
and do you feel like Jokes on Me added to any of that, or like?
Absolutely, because that's a staple in a lot of my conversations with filmmakers I meet here. They ask me if I've been in any work and if I've done stuff, and I can say yes, I was in Jokes on Me. And then when they see how big of a film it is, how it's not just like a weekend shoot, I can tell them all the stuff I learned, and it's pinnacle in that for me. It's a very defining aspect.
Awesome.
And that leads me to this question. It's a philosophical question about all the Jokes on Me. And this should probably wrap up the call. But Kevin, so I had lunch with Kevin in LA a couple days ago, and we were talking and reminiscing about the film. And I asked him, by all means and all standards and all circumstances, this film should never have been made.
Okay.
Because it was non-profit.
Yeah.
There was no budget. It was a script. It was a very ambitious script. It was a feature film. We were teenagers, and there were just like so many logistical things.
Mm-hmm.
And then even after it was made, when we tried to write something similar together, we couldn't do it. We couldn't think of anything, and it dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And so what blows me away about this film is that not only shouldn't it have been made, but it was written, it was casted, it was rehearsed, it was shot, it was edited, and it was published. All of that. And it was a feature, and we did it so young.
Done.
And some of that I can't believe. And so that's
Right.
one of the greatest parts for me, is just having this in my history as an actor and as a filmmaker. But I wanted to ask you, how does it feel? Because Jokes on Me feels very special in that regard. It's unlike
Yeah.
any film I've made like that. So how does that feel for
That's
you?
an interesting way of putting it. So first, like, to me, I definitely know what you're feeling there. I can see that. But for me, that feeling of like, how is this going to happen, ended when we casted you, when we got Maya, when we got Brandon, everything. When the cast started coming together, I realized, okay, this is going to happen. At that point, it was like, there's no way this isn't going to happen. So it's interesting that you put it that way, and I could totally see that point now. But I honestly think it's because of like the cast and the crew. Like on set or like at the rehearsals, we were all like good friends and we all had a lot of fun together, you know? Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, like, without, like, you know, we had so much fun. Like Brandon could have been like an asshole. You could have been like totally disrespectful, or you know, anything. Anyone could have been any other person. And if that were true, then it would have like put a damper on what we were doing. Like instead of going home and thinking like, that rehearsal was great, I would have went home thinking like, oh man, I wish like they respected me more, or like I wish they weren't like how they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if it weren't for who we were and how supportive we were of becoming filmmakers, like this definitely would not have happened. This would have gone out the window. So it's really like, no matter how small of a part anyone had on set or like in general, like they were a massive help in bringing this film into the world.
Absolutely. Film School 101, don't be a jerk.
Yeah, there you go. Cool,
That's
man.
awesome, man.
So yeah, I just wanted to go over one thing real quick before we end
of
this.
course.
Like, how do you feel like? Do you feel like you were more of a DC fan before or after this film?
Definitely. I was not a huge fan, but I like Batman a lot. As I said, I love Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, and Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker. So I really like that. But I'm not too versed in DC outside of
the Joker.
Outside of the Joker and Batman. But I will say that all the time we spent on set with you guys nerding out and talking about like Flash comic books, planting images like that, and just during the production meetings where we drew inspiration from that and talked about that stuff, I can definitely say that DC has become a lot cooler, and I like it a lot more.
That's interesting, yeah. Because from my perspective, like, I was a huge fan before this. Obviously, like, you would have to be a fan to make a movie like this. But afterward, like beforehand, I would like read the comic books, watch online videos with theories and stuff, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then now, having made the film, I'm sort of like, okay, I'm good. You know, I don't want, like, I'll go see the new movie with what's his face, Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Whatever. I'm supportive of all that stuff. Like, I'm going to go see them. I want to know how they interpret all this. But, like, I'm not, like, going online anymore, looking at videos, wanting to know more about stuff, because I've already made something I'm proud of, and I've had 2 years enough of. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I agree. There was, in preparation for the role, too, I did a lot of research. I bought The Killing Joke and read that a couple of times. Watched a lot of videos with their voices and just rehearsed with those things in mind. So I think that was definitely the stage where I was most in tune with DC. But that's interesting.
I agree there. Like, whether it was before or after that you were as big as a fan, anyone who was involved here was like, their peak of being a DC fan was like at the height of this production, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Because, like, beforehand or, like, even afterwards, I would, like, think, like, hey, maybe I'll do a sequel or, like, a prequel or something with Detective Stang, you know? But it never happened. Like, I have half-written scripts that I never finished, and the reason why that they never even got past the writing stage is just because I've had enough of it.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely an undercurrent of that to all this. It's like there was a time and a place to make this film, and we seized the opportunity, and we did it, and now it's done. And I think when we tried to make the standalone Joker thing, we realized the time is kind of done for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it's not to say that, oh, I hate DC now. It's just saying, like, I appreciate what we did, and looking back on it, I'm really proud of it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All the goodies. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I appreciate you joining me for this.
This was such a great idea. Thank you so much.
I thought of it last night. I was like, you know what, we got to do this, and I'm glad I reached out to you. But yeah, man, I think that brings it to a close. So yeah, anyone who tuned into watching, or anyone who's watching this in the future, thank you for sticking around this long. I hope you found our discussion productive. And
yes,
we'll
enlightening.
Definitely. And we'll see you guys around. There's definitely more coming to this YouTube channel, Aliqui Studios, all that. It's not the end. And yeah, I'll see y'all viewers in the next video.
Goodbye, everyone.